When I was a little girl, I dreamed of going to school and then finding someone to love, to have a family. That was my dream when I was a little girl. Then I was forced to become a prostitute at age 13. My mother died when I was very young. My stepmother was mean. She would beat me and refuse to give me food. So I left my father's house to find work. When I arrived in the big city, a woman said she can give me a job at her house. I was very happy to have some work and a place to stay. But at this woman's house, men would come. If I tried to refuse, the woman would beat me or shock me with electricity. And there was always someone watching, so I could not escape. In this house, I was one of 15 girls. After 2 years, I convinced the woman to let me go so I can find my father and stepmother. When I found them, they despised me and told me to leave. For 3 days and nights, I slept in the fields along the road without any food. Hungry and alone, I sat near a garden and waited for men to come to me. After several customers, I had enough money to get some food and a bus ticket. In the city, a man found me and said he had a safe place for me to stay. Then he sold me to another brothel. When I was a prostitute, I was required to have 15 men each day. If I did not, I would be beaten and refused food. This is the story of my life. I am now 24, and I am dying from AIDS. One of my greatest fears is that when I die, no one will come to my burial. When I talk to God, I ask Him to give me peace.
For every story like this, there are thousands more, and this wicked oppression exists in every part of the world, especially where women have so few options. In fact, according to the U.S. State Department, sex trafficking is becoming a bigger business worldwide than drug trafficking. It is estimated that between 2 and 4 million women and children will be trafficked into prostitution during the next 12 months. And even more tragic is the fact that 2/3 of these girls are sold, coerced, tricked, even kidnapped by someone they know. Including family members.
I married at a young age. One day when I was 17, my husband told me that he was going to the big city to seek work and that he wanted me to go with him. When we arrived at a city many miles from our village, he left me at a house where he told me to wait for him while he went to look for work. Soon I realized that I was in a brothel and was not allowed to leave. My husband had sold me for $200. He has never returned for me.
And you thought that slavery was a thing of the past. Why does this evil continue to exist today? In Cambodia, there are at least 2 reasons. Illiteracy. Most of the women involved in prostitution come from homes where the family members are illiterate. In fact, 80% of the women in Cambodia cannot read or write. Most girls, if they attend school at all, never make it past grade 3, or at most grade 5. Only 5% ever finish school.
There's so few schools in the rural areas, therefore it's a bit of triage in the family. Who will be picked to go? And it's always the boy child.
As a result, girls grow up with very few options, and with such limited education and knowledge, they can be easily deceived, falling prey to those who abuse and exploit them. Poverty. Along with illiteracy comes poverty, hopelessness, and desperation. Most live a day-to-day existence from hand to mouth. Parents in a country village are having difficulties providing for their family. A stranger, or maybe a neighbor in the village, says that they know where they can get their girl a job. They promise that she will work for a foreigner in the city and have an opportunity to earn good money. Desperate and unwittingly, the parents agree. Little do they know that their young daughter will be working in the brothel district, forced to meet with as many as 10 or 20 men each night. Every month in Cambodia, more than 1,000 girls and women are trafficked from the small rural villages to the larger cities where they are forced to work in brothel districts. More than 1,000 girls every month, forced into a life of selling their bodies for mere pocket change. And some are children as young as 6 or 7 years old.
6 or 7 years old.
My name is Sharia. I'm 12 years old, and I have seen things that children should never see. When I was 7, my mother died. When she was living, she made thatched roofs for people's houses. She was a wonderful mother. I miss her very much. My father was unable to care for me and my little sister, so my auntie took us. She was not a nice woman. One day, she sold me and my little sister to a brothel. I was age 7. My little sister was only 4. We were locked in a room where we could not escape. We were forced to watch pornographic movies to learn what to do. We were forced to watch couples through a hole in the wall. If we refused, they would shock us with an electric rod. I still have nightmares.
And this dark oppression of women is so very far away from the heart of God.
From the heart of God.
Fortunately, after 4 years, Lydia and her little sister were rescued from the brothel. Today, they both live in a Christian foster home where she is getting an education. Taria also has the opportunity to meet regularly with counselors and other girls who have had similar experiences. They pray together, cry together, express their anger, sadness, and disappointments with the therapeutic help of toys, dolls, and art. Together, they are taking steps in their long journey towards healing and recovery. Clearly, the vast majority of girls and women in Cambodia have not been forced into prostitution. However, thousands have been. So what can we do about this cancer that is eating away at the heart and soul of so many young women?
First, World Hope is helping provide aftercare and counseling.
There is a proverb that says men are like gold and women are like cloth. And what that implies is that men are able to do whatever they want because gold is infallible. You can drop it, you can stain it, and nothing will happen to it. However, women are like white cloth, which can be easily dirtied. And this is the way that women are treated in this society.
So even if she were to escape from the brothel, in many cases she will not be able to go home again due to the shame and rejection awaiting her. She has no place to go. Because of this, she will often return to a brothel, the only place where she is welcome. They need a safe place to stay for long-term care and counseling to help them heal and regain their dignity.
World Hope, in partnership with other Christian organizations, is helping provide facilities that offer a safe place for these young women to recover and regain spiritual, emotional, and physical health, to once again have the light of life in their eyes. Second is skills training.
Skills training is vital because that is the tool that they will use to generate income, to raise children, and to provide shelter and food for a family.
This training includes cooking and catering, where they learn how to start a food business or catering service and how to manage their finances. Professional sewing. There are hundreds of garment factories in Cambodia, and these factories need employees.
Giving women skills helps them realize that they can earn an income with dignity and they do not have to sell their bodies.
The women also learn the values of commitment, punctuality, trustworthiness, vital life skills that can help them grow and prosper. Additional skills training includes hairdressing, fish farming, food processing, and various agricultural endeavors.
By women acquiring skills, they are filled with self-esteem and they are filled with confidence. That gives them hope for a future.
Third is developing literacy and education programs.
Every month, 1,200 girls are trafficked for sex purposes out of these provinces. Education is one of the ways in which this evil practice is hindered is stopped. Statistics tell us that as more young girls have education, the less the trafficking happens. So we are doing this for education, to reduce the trafficking, and that these young girls and young boys may see they have value and that they are truly children of God, made in His image.
World Hope currently has literacy programs in 5 different provinces throughout Cambodia. These literacy programs are called Schools of Hope.
This is one of our literacy program here in Cambodia, sponsored by World Hope. This is a community of more than 1,000 people, and there's no school around the community. The nearest school is 3 kilometers from here, which is very inaccessible, especially during rainy season.
In addition to the literacy programs, World Hope is partnering with other organizations to help build new schools in areas where there are none.
We need to be helping to create that kind of hope in a society where there is just so much darkness.
Fourth is helping families create a sustainable source of income.
We're riding in the back of this truck on pillows, sitting on top of 2x4s. There are natural speed bumps going on here. Why are we doing this? We're on this trip today not because we just wanted an adventure. There are people in this very remote rural area who are probably at the bottom rung of poverty, grinding poverty. They are the ones that become very vulnerable, the traffickers, their children, and there's that sense that they are forgotten. And so as we come alongside this group of people, we're going to start a goat project.
After researching the needs and opportunities in Cambodia, World Hope has found that goat farms provide a very doable solution to the poverty of many Cambodian families. First, there is a steady export market for goats and goat products to places like Singapore. Second, goats can exist on very small plots of land, eat almost anything, native grasses, bushes, and leaves from trees, and they are not prone to disease. Operating similar to a microloan program, World Hope provides the necessary capital to launch these goat farms. This provides a livelihood for many families and relieves some of the severe financial pressure from those who have children at risk to sex trafficking. So now we have a choice to make. We can remain on the sidelines, distant, uninvolved, silent, hoping that someone, somewhere, will do something to help these young girls who are being exploited and victimized. Or we can choose to make a difference, each of us. We invite you to join with us at World Hope to make a life-changing difference. Help us provide a safe place where rescued young women can live, heal, and recover. Help us empower them through skills training for meaningful, legitimate employment opportunities. Help us build new schools so that children at risk can dramatically increase their chances for a safe and productive life. Help us relieve the harsh financial pressures through creative programs such as the GOAT Project, generating a sustainable source of family income. Each of them are worth far more than gold and rubies and diamonds. They have infinite value in God's eyes. They have a purpose, a destiny. In the name of Jesus, let us take their hands through our prayers and by our gifts, helping them to regain their joy and innocence, helping them find their voice once again. Thank you for joining with us as we seek to protect the vulnerable, heal the broken in body and spirit, and restore their dignity. Together, we can help them have new hope and a brighter future.